Shout out to the Cows gang. I'm your host, Mr. Palmer, and welcome to the show, Victim or Volunteer. What I want y'all to do, grab the nearest couch, sit back, and enjoy the ride. What's going on, Cows gang? Hey, I got something I want to talk to y'all about. This is a story that's very unfortunate. It's something to think about and also something to take heed to. Now, this happened in November 2024, where you have a California wife who was having an affair with a younger dude, and they said it was a quick affair. It wasn't long term. But what ended up happening was the younger guy killed her and her husband, double murder, right on the courthouse steps. So let's get into this. So the wife, who's 31 years old, her name was Rachael Martinez. Her husband was 39 years old. His name was Jose Medina. They were both shot dead in San Diego Wednesday while sitting in the car waiting to enter the court. And for what I was told, that they was going there to do a restraining order on this guy. I think it was like the third time them going there. But before they could do all that, they was ambushed allegedly by Martinez's ex-lover. His name is Christopher Farrell, or Farrell, 26 years old. And the couple had 4 children who have been left basically as orphans. Now, what it's saying was, in the court documents, it's saying that Martinez was involved in an affair with Farrell for several weeks, but broke it off when her husband found out late in September. So they were dipping off, and when the husband found out, she cut it off, right? So we kind of see, what basically led up to where we at today, but we finna get to that. So she met up with dude and asked him to bag off, you know what I'm saying? We gotta end this. And she ended up alleging that their interaction ended in violence. And both she and her husband went to file restraining orders against a 26-year-old, right? So for those that don't know, Farrell was working that job doing security, MTS. And he ended up getting fired from that job because he was arrested for alleged domestic violence, false imprisonment, and sex crimes in her, restraining order. And because of that, he got fired. So now he lost his job. And, no money, of course. You lose your job, now you gotta see what you gotta do. And it seemed to intensify the situation. Now, the funny part is, when they investigated this, prosecutor said they didn't have no probable cause to press charges due to inconsistent evidence, lack of evidence, no proof. So that's when later on down the line, I guess he had felt there wasn't nothing else he can do. He ain't had nothing to lose. So what he did, he peeked around and stayed around, and he killed him and ambushed him. Then he ended up having to shoot out the police. He shot a cop, he ended up getting shot up, dog on him, and he ended up dying at the hospital. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and play the news clip and let them tell more detail than what I said. Check it out.
Yes, it's hard to believe that the gunman who shot and wounded a Harbor police officer himself was a recently fired MTS security officer. Police shot and killed him in Little Italy yesterday morning, but he's also accused earlier that morning of murdering a couple inside their vehicle just a block away from the downtown courthouse. All 3 of them were set to appear for a restraining order hearing. In this cell phone video, you can see a man in a green shirt hiding by an electrical box in Little Italy, right before the sound of multiple gunshots ring out. A Harbor police officer is wounded in the shootout, and the gunman is hit multiple times. Officers approach the gunman with canines and kick his gun away. The 26-year-old died later at the hospital.
Man, that is an unfortunate situation. You have 4 children that do not have parents. They did a GoFundMe. I don't know if they did it, but somebody did a GoFundMe for the couple. As I take a look, they're asking for $50,000. So far, they received $6,050. Title says support for Martinez and Medina children and somebody by the name of Vincent organized this fundraiser. Wow, that's deep. That is deep. You know, it's a lot to be said about this unfortunate situation. And, you know, you just never know. Now, let's kind of get back to the restraining order. Okay, a judge granted Martinez a restraining order on October the 7th, and Medina obtained a separate order against Farrell the next day, court documents showed. Sheriff's deputies attempted to serve Farrell with the restraining order at work, but he had already been fired about the time, so it was unclear if the order was even served before the shooting. So they're not even sure if he even received the paperwork, you know. And that Wednesday morning, the husband and wife were scheduled to do a hearing at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's when the reports of the shots fired at 8:22 in the morning, 911 call to dispatch that the couple was sitting in the car on Union Station around 2 blocks from the courthouse, and the gunman shot him dead before fleeing the scene. You know, they launched an urgent manhunt in the area, and a witness spotted Farrell hiding from the cops behind an electrical box. And the footage showed Farrell fleeing the scene after allegedly gunning down the couple. He was shot several times during a 90-second standoff in downtown San Diego, where he died later at the hospital, like I told you before. You know, this is crazy. Now, if you go on and look at some of these pictures with the husband and wife, you know, and with the kids, you know, look like they, you know, having a good life. They happy, seem like they love each other. I got pictures on here, taking pictures together back in May 2011, song, and, you know, pictures them coupled together. You know, it showed like they had it good. They had it made. Love was there. But evidently, the wife, Miss Martinez, must have been, you know, missing something, had that empty void in her to decide to deal with this 26-year-old dude. And dude was living in the trailer park, you know. Now, what I do have to ask that question, by them saying they had lack of evidence on this alleged, I'm gonna say forced kidnapping, and detaining her in his house, that says a lot. Could it be that she lied about that and she did it willingly, but said, yeah, I'm gonna use this to get a restraining order? You know, that's something to think about. And do you think the reason why the gunman, Farrell, do you think the reason why he did what he did because he ended up getting fired on false allegations? Now, it could be because, hey, she dumped him and all that stuff, fatal attraction, love triangle. But could also be that she lied on him and she ended up messing up his livelihood because he got fired and he already living in the trailer home and he felt he ain't had nothing to lose. That's something to think about. So in this story, Cal's gang, the husband is a victim, 100% all the way victim. The 4 children that's basically orphans, even if they go to family or whoever, they don't have their parents. They are victims as well. But I gotta ask y'all, Cal's gang, I gotta ask y'all, is the wife, Rachael Martinez, is she a victim or volunteer? And I gotta ask this question. Is Christopher Farrell a victim or volunteer? Definitely let me know in the comments section. Let me know and explain, let me know why.
Y'all tell me what y'all think. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm Mr. Palmer, and this conversation is over. Cows gang.